Hello people, today I have with us the Daribalde, and it's a high-grade kit from the Witch from Mercury line. It is a 144 scale. Obviously I manipulated that out of the way. And one of the first season kits from the Witch from Mercury. There are a couple write-ups about this one, so let's go ahead and get into that. First off, we have the Daribaldes that says this is developed as a proof of concept for Jeturk heavy machinery's 5th generation of mobile suits. The Daribalde was produced prioritizing adaptation of next-gen military drone technology to a mobile suit. When adapting a drone equipped with decision-making extension AI capable of self-learning and autonomous operation to a humanoid mobile suit, the team attempted to add fundamental kinesthetic integration to the unit. The Daribalde does not feature the revolutionary technology of the gun format in its design. However, unlike the Gundams that utilize this cursed technology, this unit prides itself as a legitimate evolution of the mobile suit as a platform. Alright, and spoilers for the Witch from Mercury. This is a write-up about Guel. After losing his duel with Soletta Mercury and losing his spot as the strongest in the school, Guel followed his father Vim's wishes, went up against the Ariel in Jeturk Heavy Machinery's newest unit, the Daribalde. So let's go ahead and do a articulation check on this guy. I take him off of his stand here, which does come in the kit, so that's nice. I'll pull these off. There we go. Nice, dropped and down on the floor. So first of all, the thing I would like to recognize here is that this horn is not very tightly in there. I didn't cut it off incorrectly, I don't think, but it comes off so easily it's not even funny. But we'll start right there at the head, and we have the standard form of articulation. We have 2 ball joints in here, very nicely articulated for what it is. The head is rather large, and you know, it works really well. We have shoulders here, and the shoulders are on not a polycap, but a joint system inside the chest here, and that allows you to move it in and out, and then on a ball joint from there, so you can get a lot of motion in that arm there, on the ball and on that joint system. You can turn it up all the way around, of course, because it's on that ball. You can move this up and down separately from the shoulder, which is nice. And then, of course, you have this shoulder shield, which can turn on that axis, and it can move up and down on the shoulder as well. The sticker here coming off, that's nice. It's supposed to be this way, and you can also turn it this way. There's a joint in there as well. Moving down from there, shoulder can articulate outward as far as the armor will allow it. And then you have a rotation point right here. Goes all the way 360. 2 points of articulation at the elbow, so you have one up here and one down here. Nice piece of armor on the back of that one. And then the simple ball joint at the wrist, just like so. Inside here, there's a ball joint up inside. Actually, it's not a ball joint. I think there's a peg that holds in place here on these 2 white parts, and it allows you to move that up and down on that. And then you can rotate this on a ball joint. You get quite a lot there. So you get that nice up and down motion here, and combined you get quite a nice effect. Moving down from there, the skirt is very solid. You're not going to get any motion out of the back here, but you do have a ball joint up here in the front, which is a very odd one because if I recall correctly, it's embedded into the crotch here. Yeah, it's coming up from the bottom and this is on it, like just plugs in. Very strange. On this one, there's no drop down on the hip. just a plug in, so you get that up and down all around that way. You are limited by this skirt, but you can move outward if you needed to get that around that way. A very nice double jointed knee. Gives you a nice effect here because of this big section. And then at the foot, you get a joint here to move this section up and down. And then, of course, a rotation at that point here. And then a ball joint at the very bottom. Then you have a point of articulation at the toe and one at the claw section, which will be used later. The weapons themselves don't have any articulation, but because they are combinable, you can rotate them on that axis. So at this point, we can go over what it also comes with, and that is this beam saber. There's two of these ones in this nice purple color. Of course, you have the weapon, which it's a very nice one as well, double-edged. You get this hand, nice, open, and expressive. And you get two of these. Now these attach to the foot in place of the ball joint there. And you plug in a nice little cable, which is too flexible to actually be functional. I don't know why it was so soft. They should have given something a little bit tougher. But they give you two of these, and those attach the feet onto his leg, so the leg can act like a claw. And I will show you that posed in just a second. I'm going to go over the size comparison first. So let's do that. Here we have our high-grade Gundam. This is the GBN-based Gundam from Build Divers. And it is also a high-grade in 1/144 scale, just like this one is. And as you can see, they are very similar in height. Here is Alto from 30-Minute Missions. This is also in 1/144 scale. You can see a little bit shorter than the Witch from Mercury kits. One of the bigger bots in my collection, this 1/100 scale Frame Arms Jinrai, is here compared to the Daribalde. And the Frame Arms Girl Architect, just a little bit taller than he is with that big horn. She's in roughly 1/12 scale. The Hexagear Governor Nero, this one is in 1/24 scale. And of course, the mega size one in my group, this is the Master Grade 1/100 scale Alex Gundam. They are usually a lot taller than high grades are. Alright, and the two little jump jet backpack things that it has on the back there are actually replicas of his arm. And you could take these off and swap them out for one of these that's on his back, which allows you to attach that beam saber. So basically you'd imagine him jettisoning his hand and you'd be able to use that beam saber. Of course, you can hold his nice partisan. And then these very thin cables, which like I said are the softest things, there's no resistance to them whatsoever, allow you to let those feet detach, attach that second part onto this, and then you can use those as claws. Like you said, they're pretty effective for holding on to an enemy mobile suit, or in this case, a sanding stick. So it's something you can do, and it's an interesting pose that you can do. I would have preferred if there was a thicker cable, because this one is really not it. But that is the Daribalde. Now this one was, I think, $22, which is a little bit on the high-end scale of Witch from Mercury kits. But it is definitely worth it. I think there aren't a lot of extras to it, but price paid and what you get, it's a pretty decent kit. There's not a lot of articulation to it. I was surprised at that, because in the show they made this thing move like crazy. But it is a very fun one to pose, and there's a lot of posability with all these extra things that you can do. So it's a lot of fun to play with. So versus another mobile suit, I definitely see a very fun kit to play with as far as dioramas go, or just an action scene on your desk or your display case. It's a win for me. I think a lot of these actually are. They're very fun kits, Witch from Mercury kits, and they are very unique looking. I actually really love the way his beetle horn looks. I think that head is very unique, very classy, and this is one of my favorite Witch from Mercury kits so far. But with that said, I will let you guys go and let you make your own decision on if you would want to get this kit or not. A red bad guy kit being a very cliche thing, I don't personally see a problem with it, but it's definitely been a thing in Gundam. But that being said, I think I will let you guys go. Have a good night or day wherever you are. I will see you guys next time, or you'll see me, but more than likely you'll see my stuff. Bye-bye.